Affinity Xtra, be extra.
Now, Priscilla Bailey is a solo gospel artist who hails from Birmingham, but is based down in Essex. Down, up, depends where you're coming from. But she describes her music as gospel soul with jazz and hip hop influences. Trained vocally by legendary Marcia Escoffery from acclaimed group The Escoffery. Escoffery, remember? Luke Who's Loving Me back in the day. Wow. And she went on to develop her skills with Birmingham Community Gospel Choir, winners of BBC Songs of Praise Gospel Choir of the Year way back in 2015, as well as with groups and with worship teams. It's my pleasure to say Priscilla joins me now. Hello, hello, hello. How you doing?
Hi, how are
Hey,
you, Howie?
hey, welcome to the show. Very good. Great to have you here. Great to be able to speak with you as well. And your reputation goes before you. I've been hearing you must speak to Priscilla. You must hear about her music. And I'm loving. First of all, I'll say I'm loving the vibe of the track of the album as well.
Oh, thank
And
you.
and we'll get on to all of that. But this is your opportunity now. Tell us a little bit about your background and tell us what inspired you to pursue your musical direction. I'd love to hear about that.
Um, so so you've kind of said a lot, summarized my background, but so I I literally have been in bands. I've been in I had a short stint in a jazz band. Um, and then I've also been in like worship teams and outreach teams where we went out on the street and sang songs and stuff like that. Um, and then, I became part of the Birmingham Community Gospel Choir around 2008, I believe it was. I was with them for quite a while. But I'd say that my singing was pretty much something that was nurtured from very young through my grandmother, who was also a worship leader.
Okay,
And she went to a Pentecostal church in Manchester. And whenever I went to stay with her, she'd take me to church and teach me hymns and things like that. So
beautiful.
I was always singing. I was always singing from young. Um, but I'd say that my inspiration, perhaps to become a solo artist, came a little bit later, well, a lot later on. Um, I was writing a lot of songs, a lot of my own songs at home. I hadn't really shared anything with anyone because I didn't really know where it was going to take me. And it was through a lady at choir who had her own studio. I just talked to her about basically some of the songs I've been writing. I didn't know what to do with them. And she said, come to my studio and lay some vocal down. So it was all it kind of evolved. But yeah, my inspiration is definitely from my faith in God. And I'd say that I feel like it was a calling. I think it was a natural progression from being in groups and around other people and learning the craft. And then it's almost like I feel like God just helped me to kind of step out in faith and do this for Him on my own.
I mean, it is a distinct difference, isn't there, between being in a choir, even being in a group, until you're, oh, it's just me.
Yeah. Oh
Oh, wow.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's definitely built character. Let's just say that. And I think I was quite shaky in my confidence when I started. But with the likes of Marcia Escoffery, which you've mentioned, she gave me a lot of confidence about finding my own voice.
yeah,
And,
yeah.
kind of it helped me to kind of set myself apart and then just kind of just use different influences and see what I could create of from my own sound.
That's brilliant. So Marcia was maybe a key role model or mentor. How would you describe her?
Yeah, I'd say she was a bit of both actually.
Yeah.
And even at that time, I didn't even realize just kind of how much of a legend she was. It was a weird scenario because I had a short stint in London. I was working down there, and a friend of mine had introduced me to her. and he said, "Oh, I know you want to do some vocal training," and Marcia does it. And she didn't really say much about her background, and it wasn't until later on, after all my sessions, that I found out that she was part of a group that's very influential in UK gospel, and so I look up to her, and even just she's paved the way for the kind of style and sound that I bring out now.
So, what would you say has been the most rewarding kind of project or achievement that you've had on your journey so far? I mean, has there been something memorable that you're thinking that really changed even my direction, or it really cemented you to know that this is what you're meant to be doing?
I think there's been several things, but perhaps as I was going through, as we were all going through the pandemic, I think it gave me a chance to really spend time with God and think about what direction I wanted to go in. And it was in that time that I was in a time of isolation, and I was kind of like experimenting with different sounds and styles, and even taking from my jazzy background as well. And I created a song called "Lift Your Hands Up," and I didn't even know how anyone was going to receive it because it was completely different from what I'd done prior. And so when it did come out, and I was invited to BBC Introducing um, off the back of the release. I was like, oh, maybe I'm
Yeah,
onto something. And so yeah, from there, I think it kind of boosted my confidence because I was like, okay, so yeah, it looks like I can put different things together, and it seems to work as long as the topic's relatable.
yeah.
Looks like people, really will gravitate towards it. So following on from that, yeah, I just think my confidence just soared, and then I started to really get into experimenting with different styles again from there.
Just while you're saying that, how important do you feel it is for you to um, do the sound that works for you, or that you enjoy rather, as opposed to just trying to fit in with what the most current thing is?
Yeah, it's a difficult one because I think it kind of depends on what your real goal is or what your motivation is. Mine is really just to have to deliver a positive message um, in a really kind of joyful, happy way. And it's not really about, I'm not really putting myself into a box. I never really have done. And I just try to stay true to myself, basically. I know that there is a pull to obviously follow trends and, the most popular genres and things like that. But I don't think I'd be really, I don't think I'd be able to give an authentic side of myself if I was doing something that just wasn't me. So in some ways, I can see it working against me, but so far it hasn't.
Sure. Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
far, it hasn't. I mean, I'm hearing different things all the time. People saying that they're using my song at conferences and all kinds of stuff, and I'm like, wow, So it is reaching the people I feel it's meant to be reaching.
Good, good.
Yeah.
I was going to say, so Greater Love is the most recent project, May 25, so it's still fresh. How do you feel it's been received, and what excites you most about the project?
I think what excites me um, the most about it is just I've been able to put a body of work together literally on my own, which is no mean feat. It's been a real challenge. I worked extremely hard, and I think I've been really happy with the overall kind of project in terms of from start to finish, just how it feels for me and how much it kind of how many emotions it evokes and things like that, and how closely to the word I have stayed stuck to. So in some ways, um, even now I'm starting to hear, because I think initially a lot of people didn't really know how to take take this project, but
Okay.
since they started to listen to it, they're like, actually, I really like the quality and the style and the, you know, and it reminds me of this and it reminds me of that, and I think this is what I was trying to get, even though yes, it's a Christian album. I was trying to also get a sense of the influences that I myself have grown up listening to and been really impacted by. So a lot of the 90s kind of artists and things like that. And it's really brought a lot of nostalgia, I think, to my audience.
So who stands out in terms of nostalgia for you then?
There's so many.
Who comes to mind immediately? Don't try and think too much about it. Just who comes to mind?
Oh, nostalgia. Well, when I think about the 90s, I think about Mary J. Blige and Faith Evans. I think
Okay, yeah.
about Jill Scott. I think about Kirk Franklin. I think about Mary Mary. I think about all of those kind of early kind of sounds.
Okay, yeah. And that's influenced you as well.
Yeah.
And how do you see the gospel sector evolving in the next few years? I mean, you've had a number of years' experience um, in different spheres, going from a choir to groups to soloist.
Mhm.
Um, and what advice would you maybe give to somebody starting out?
Um, it's a bit hmm, it's a bit difficult to say where gospel music will go. Um, I'm hoping that UK gospel will make start to make a huge impact. But I think there needs to be a lot more collaboration, I think, between artists here and then also abroad as well. Um, so that yeah, we can start to, you know, kind of make waves in the music industry. Because I think at the moment we're kind of a little bit insular or seen that way, and so I'm I'm hoping that we start to really make some inroads and impact on the music industry itself. Um, but I can see pockets of younger artists who are picking up even on genres that I do, like the neo soul, and they're doing fantastic. I'm really
Yeah.
excited about the new soul and the things that are coming from the genres that I sing. Um, and so I'm hoping even to have hoping to open up a chance of mentoring some of the young people as well as they're coming through, because it is difficult, especially if you're independent. Um, I just thank God I've been able to to go on as long as I have, because a lot of people, as you've seen,
Yeah.
start and then they just drop off.
Yeah.
And so I know that it can be difficult. What was the next part of your question? Sorry.
So, people trying to come into the field, and also, so one, people coming in, but also how you see it evolving. So, yeah, I think you've kind of given a good response on that.
Yeah, so I think that, as long as you just keep the main thing,
Okay.
um, plenty of prayer, ask for support, um, because, it can be challenging and can be expensive as well. So
Yeah.
try and find different ways of finding the money to promote your project or to record things like that. Um, and be strategic, I think, as well. So it's going to be a lot of networking and getting to know who the DJs are, who the media is, and all the rest of it, and see how you can push your music.
And do you feel that you have been supported on your journey? You said about being a mentor to others. Is that because you've been mentored, or because you have would have liked to have been mentored? Spill the beans.
Woo! That's a good one. I think when I started, the mentoring wasn't really there. I think it almost felt like it was a bit of a fly by night, because it was like, okay, who is she? Like, and I kind of get that because it was new to the whole scene. Um, and if I'm honest, I didn't really know where it was going to take me. So I was like, oh, I'm just happy to be here. Happy to sing. I still am, still a bit kind of ditzy like that. But I think a lot of people expect me to say, oh, no, I know where I'm going to go in life. I'm going to go here. I want to be a songwriter for big artists. It's that kind of thing. I think people expected that. So I don't think they knew how to support me at the beginning because it wasn't
Okay.
clear. Um, but now, as I'm moving forward and I'm, talking to people, I've developed my gift a lot more. Even a lot of people now can say, "Oh, I can see the vision here, so I know what you're trying to do." And so there are talks about, syncing some music to, you know, programs and all kinds of stuff, and
Yeah, yeah.
working with other artists, and that's just come over
Sounds
time,
good.
basically.
Sounds good. Sounds good. So you mentioned earlier about the whole collaboration and maybe choosing my own words, people not working in silos.
Yeah.
Um, if you could collaborate with another gospel artist, who would it be and why?
Oh, there's loads. You know what? I would really like to work with. I'd like to work with Kirk Franklin.
Okay.
I'd like to work with him because he's a songwriter, and I'd like to hear about how he structures his songs, and I'd like to see the process, from A to B, and then how he gets all of these voices together.
Yeah, yeah.
That's something that I've started to do with my own vocalist is layer my vocals, but I'd like to learn a bit more about that side of things as well from him. But yeah, I'd love to do something really beautiful. Even
Mm.
if I wasn't actually fronting the song, I would like to be able to write with him.
Yeah, absolutely. He is, dare I say, legendary in his own right in regards to his songwriting capabilities.
Yeah.
And okay, here's some quick fire questions for you. What's the first song that you ever wrote?
Um, Gosh, what song did I write? First song.
The first song.
Oh gosh, what did I write?
You may have been 6 years old, who knows? But
It's going to be something silly, isn't it? That's a good question. Um,
we'll come back to that one whilst you're thinking.
I think it was like a really kind of Destiny's Child kind of really, up tempo R&B thing. I was
Okay.
like, I love him, I love him, I love him, I love him, I love him.
That's all right.
Oh dear, it was something like that. It was something really, yeah.
And let's switch it. What's your favorite hymn?
Um, how great thou art.
Okay, big
Yeah,
track. Yeah, big
yeah.
song
My
indeed.
granny's favorite.
Love it. Is it one you've recorded yourself?
I haven't recorded it. Actually something. It's back in my notes.
Yeah.
Something that I would love to do is some hymns. I'd like to do a kind of jazzy gospel, and I'd like to do some hymns. So those things are there.
And
At some
here
point.
and here's maybe an album name for you.
Go on.
A tribute to Granny.
Hey.
There you go.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
record her old hymns with your style, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
Definitely.
one thing that people may not know about you.
Um, hmm, what a number of things actually.
We'll take two.
I can sing in Portuguese.
Okay.
And what I don't know about me. I work as a speech and language therapist.
Okay. Love it. And do you enjoy that?
I do actually, yeah, I do. It's
Very,
very tiring.
yeah, very fulfilling.
Yeah, it's very fulfilling. you get to meet a lot of, unfortunately, very vulnerable people, but you get to uh, promote their independence and give them a voice. So that's
And does singing help with that?
sometimes there are some things, some exercises sometimes that I can implement um, that will involve kind of singing at a certain pitch and things like that. But no, I don't normally bring music in unless it's like a music therapist with me. But
Okay,
yeah,
okay,
there are occasions where I can use a little bit of that.
okay, okay. Good. And I know the answer to this question. Well, I'm presuming your favorite city to perform in. It-
Oh,
it's a leading question, right?
it is a leading question. Okay, I'd say Birmingham. Yeah.
Dear. So tell us about some of your future your aspirations and your goals, maybe professionally or personally in your music. Um, any additional projects, or are you going to be performing live anywhere? What's the plan?
Yeah, so there are a number of events that are coming up that I've been invited to sing at. So a few of them are still to be confirmed. Um, but I have been invited to sing at the Gospel Music Summit in October. And there's a charity concert that's going to in London that I've been asked to sing at in November. Um, but yeah, there's a couple more, but they just need
In
to
the
be
wings.
confirmed that are coming up in September. Yeah.
Brilliant,
Um,
brilliant.
but yeah, yeah, in terms of projects, yeah, there's loads. I mean, I constantly record music, so I've got them in folders now of, which I'm going to do this project and then that project. And there are talks to do collaborations with a gentleman over in the US, um, as well as the possibility of having one of my songs in a film. So
And it may be in Portuguese as well.
no, that's for later on.
Okay, okay. It's on the plan. It's on the plan. It's a bigger plan.
It's in the plan,
It's in
yes,
the
yeah.
plan. Brilliant, brilliant. So tell us how people can follow you, get hold of your music, listen to what's going on.
Okay, so people can follow me on Instagram at Priscilla Bailey Music and TikTok at Priscilla Bailey Music One. I've also got a Priscilla Bailey Music page on Facebook as well, so you can follow me there.
Excellent, excellent. Well, it's been a pleasure talking to you. People go and stream, download, whichever way works for you. The album, it's out. It's been out since May, and Greater Love is what it's called. Priscilla Bailey, a pleasure to talk to you, and really, really wish you well. All the best
Thank you
for the
so
future.
much, Harry. Thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Affinity Xtra, be extra.